Okay, I'm going to show you how to iron a dress shirt. Start with the collar. If you want starch, go ahead and spray it now. If starch bothers your neck, then just don't starch it. Begin with the sleeve. I do like a starched cuff, so spray the outside of your cuff. Begin ironing on the inside of the cuff. Go up and inside to get rid of any wrinkles. Flip it over and iron the outside. Again, I go up a little bit to get rid of any wrinkles around the wrist. Take your sleeve, find where the seam is. Take the seam, lay it out. If you find your seam when you lay it out, then when you iron, you're only going to have one crease on the outside of your sleeve instead of multiple creases. Once you iron the back side of your shirt, now hold on to the newly ironed crease, flip it over, and run the iron over the front of the sleeve. Just like that. Okay, that sleeve's done. On to the next sleeve. Again, I put a little starch on the outside of the cuff. Come in, iron the inside of the cuff, flip it over, and iron the outside. Now again, find where the seam is. Pinch the seam so that you can lay your sleeve out nicely on your board and iron the back side. And up and around the wrist area of the cuff. Pinch your newly made crease, flip it over, and iron the front side. And if you do it correctly, you only have one crease along the outside of the sleeve. If you've accidentally made more than that, just shoot it with some water and spray again and you'll be fine. All right, sleeves are done. Collar. Iron the back side of the collar, flip it over, and iron the front of the collar. Now this is a button-down shirt, but if it were a regular dress shirt with collar stays, you would insert them now. Don't wash the shirt with them in because they get lost in the washer, and don't iron with them in because they leave a funny lump. Once the collar is done, I put the shoulder panel up on the board. I do like to give that a bit of starch. It just makes a nicer look when you're wearing this shirt. Iron the shoulder, slide it around, and do the other shoulder. Okay, once that's done, now you put the front quarter panel of the shirt over the board. I have the button side, just the front quarter part. I give that a little bit of starch to stiffen it up and iron around those little pesky buttons. Okay, take that off. Now time for the other front quarter panel. A little bit of starch. And it allows you to iron up and around the little button that your collar will button down onto. Okay, once the front quarter panels are done, now you're ready to do the whole shirt. I like to starch. This is where the buttons will come through, the buttonholes. I like to starch the front panel because it does look nicer, it lays nicer. That's entirely up to you. Okay, and then you just move the shirt along and iron as you go. Often underneath the armpit is where you'll find some pesky wrinkles. Just kind of take the nose of the iron and get in among that. No big deal. My iron is dripping water. Okay, now all different shirts have different types of seams on the back. This one just has one in the middle pleat. So I iron the top part of the pleat flat and then come up with the nose of the iron on either side. And again, you just keep scooting the shirt forward as you iron. Up and around under the armpit. And now I've gone all the way around the shirt and I'm over to the buttons. And again, I like a little bit of starch. I just run it straight up the middle. That should not bother your skin because it won't be touching like the collar would rub against your neck a front starch isn't gonna touch your skin, so you shouldn't have any allergic reactions. And that's all there is. Take it off the board, button the top button, and the best way to hang it, you can choose to button the collar now or later. The best way to hang it is I put it on a door frame until it is cool. Button about the 4th button down. Once the shirt is cooled, put it in your closet and you're good to go.